Internet, my name is Hazel from Hazelnuttygames. It is not even close to Saturday. Today is Monday the 17th? 16th. The Monday after Warlords of Draenor. And today is gonna be a vlog pretty much about Warlords of Draenor. So that is actually the reason why we didn't do vlog on Friday. And let's back our whole story up, which you're gonna be very familiar with if you play because you know all this, but you know, we're gonna share experiences here. So if we back all the way up to Wednesday, Draenor Eve as it were, I and many other people were super excited. Between it being like super cold outside and being so excited for midnight, it felt like Christmas except better because Christmas kind of starts to suck when you grow up. I was so excited. I got up early. I did a whole bunch of exercise at like a certain point in the day to hope to wipe myself out enough to nap before Draenor. I made special food. I got all dressed up. I cleaned like the whole house. I did my nails. Oh, it was just like a super excited day. And of course, by the time like 11 rolls around, I'm like, I of course wasn't able to nap because I was way too keyed up. And I was super tired by the time that it actually came out. They released it a little bit early at 11:45. And of course, I had all my tunes out in the Blasted Lands, talked to Khadgar, and went to Tanan, and everything broke. I have played through 2 launches so far. I did Cataclysm, and I did Mists of Pandaria. And neither one of them had anything on the massacre of servers that happened for Warlords of Draenor. So, of course, as many of you know, to sum up the issues, there was horrible lag, and there was gigantic queues for everybody. Like, I play right now in Lightbringer US. I had never, ever, ever seen a queue in my life. And then all of a sudden, it was like 5,000, 6,000 people. And even now, after the population caps have been raised and raised and raised as they get more people in, there's still a pretty sizable queue during prime time. It's crazy. So yeah, everything kind of broke, and then of course there was a lot of gameplay issues that I guess didn't get ironed out. A lot of gameplay issues that I guess didn't get ironed out in beta, and it's very hard to tell if the problem that you were having was due to the gameplay issue or the server just breaking down into tears. So the first couple of days were really gross. The Wednesday night, and then the Thursday and Friday were all just disgusting. Hi, how are you doing? Oh man, so I powered through, and after the first time that my husband and I sat in the server queue, we were just like, well, I guess we're playing constantly now. We sat in one queue to get in the morning, and then just didn't log off. So we pretty much spent Friday, Saturday, and Sunday just here playing WoW all day. And I got my priest to 100. This thing, I tightened you. I fixed it. What else do you want me to tighten? It's gotta be, oh, you know what? It's this thing. I got it. I got it. So anyways, yeah, I finally got my priest to 100, and that happened like a day or two ago, and I feel like that particular level 100, I like clawed from the depths of server doom with like blood and anguish, and it was just, it took so long to do anything because of course you're lagging like crazy, things are broken, everybody's competing for your quest stuff, and it was just, it was ugly. But on Saturday morning, they fixed it. I couldn't tell you exactly what they did, but I know they introduced phasing tech into all over Draenor to split each server up into multiple instances. And then, of course, raised population caps. So queues aren't too bad anymore. I haven't seen any real lag. Everything seems to be working properly, and oh my goodness, is it fantastic. I wasn't on beta, and just in general looking at news. Kitten, that's my hair. You can't have it. Grow your own. In general, just looking at news, Garrison seemed like a neat idea, but I wasn't super excited about them. I was like, well, this is a thing I guess I'll do, and you know, whatever, I'll have a building, hooray. But I am in love with it. I've got all my followers just hanging out there, and I've customized it, and I know everybody else gets one, but I feel like it's mine. I'm the only one special enough to be commander, and I think that's the way they want everybody to feel. It's just this big ego-stroking Facebook game of build your own thing and then you can live there and there's nobody else there. And especially after the first night of questing, when you're just super frustrated from everybody taking all of your shit in the world, you can finally unlock your garrison, you step into it, and all those people just leave because they ain't allowed in. It was beautiful. And now it's just, I just like being there. So oh, I love Draenor. The first day, I ended up spending most of my morning. I have on Lightbringer, my priest, and then 5 other level 90s. And I knew I wasn't going to want to level all of them right away, but I did know that I needed to get them at least through Tanan and into the garrison so that they can start passively generating garrison resources, because that's kind of a bottleneck once you actually get into it and start building things. So I, in one day, sat through and ran 5 tunes through Tanan Jungle, and it's a testament to how good that zone is that I don't absolutely hate it by now, because that was quite a bit. But yeah, they all have garrisons, they're all leveling up their followers and getting rested experience and getting all ready to go. And I feel like when I actually get around to leveling another alt, it's going to be so much nicer because it won't be lagging, obviously. Kitty, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, you want to snuggle? She is such a lap cat. Or a desk cat. She pretty much just wants to be around you. It's okay when my husband's home because she'll hang out in his lap mostly, but I'm usually curled up in my chair, so there is no lap, so she'll sit on my mouse pad instead, which is really inconvenient. But anyways, back to Draenor. So I got to 100. I've started gearing up. I built myself a war mill. No, not a war mill, that's Horde. I built myself a bunker in my garrison and did Nagrand, because I actually got to 100 without going into Nagrand at all because I was doing all those completion achievements. And then I got a bunch of quest gear, did some normals, did a lot of normals, and then did a heroic this morning. And heroics don't seem any harder than normals. Normals were pretty hard for normals, and maybe it's just because I'm used to the end of expansion pace from Pandaria of just like booking it through dungeons. But it was rough. But now I'm in heroics and I'm like 617 on my priest, and I'm just having a blast. I went into Ashran for the first time this morning because that was the daily quest for my garrison. And it was so much fun. I killed a few people. I got my quest done. I did some bonus objectives. I had a blast, so I'm gonna need to, I really want to get into PvP and start PvPing, and I want to have more alts up so I can PvP with them. But right now is that kind of mad rush to get geared for raids, because I actually have a guild this expansion, and we're going to be raiding at least a couple times a week. So I want to make sure that my Shadow Priest is ready to go and before I start messing around with other stuff, and there's so much stuff to mess around with. There's too much to do in Draenor. I've been fishing like crazy, because fishing is like super lucrative when you have I have maxed out fishing, so I catch enormous fish all the time, and oh man, I've been making bank, and I need it because there's all these mounts that I need to buy, and I need to dump it into all these garrisons. And I've been trying to collect some battle pets. I did some archaeology, got myself a Frostwolf ghost pup, and I'm still don't even have my Draenor archaeologist. So yeah, there's like a lot of stuff. There's too much stuff to do. I'm a little overwhelmed, but you know, Kitty and me are just gonna take our time and get everything that we want to do done. It's been pretty much fantastic. And then on top of my 690s, I now really want to level a paladin, because my guild may or may not need another tank, and I have my max level warrior, and that's fine, but playing through all of the story quests, what do you want? Don't eat me. Don't eat me. Do you want me to pet you? Playing through all the story quests has made me really want to level a Draenei Paladin. I think that would be the coolest thing, just a prot-ret Draenei Paladin, and I've been wanting to do that for a while anyways, and I really want to get that going, but I really have too much to do in Draenor, so yeah, super busy. But things are calmed down a little bit, especially now that the servers are better, so that you can actually get things done. I felt really bad for all of the Blizzard community managers on Twitter, and just people working at Blizzard in general during that whole debacle, because obviously, of course, they weren't prepared, and people were very righteously justified in their frustration. But it's not like the people that you're talking to, it's not their fault. And I know that all the people at Blizzard were doing their very, very best to get everything back up. They play too. And it's not like they'd want you to not play. So I'm really glad that everything is up to scratch, and hopefully all of the people at Blizzard can go home and, you know, have a shower and get some food and see their families and stuff like that. So that's that. As far as videos, I am now back to work. I've had my 3-day WOD spree. I'm going to be playing a lot of it, but I still have time for videos, and we're going to be back to streams as well. So streams will, of course, be the normal Monday, Wednesday, Friday times, 4 p.m. Pacific to about 6 p.m. Pacific, which means there will be one later today. I'm going to be doing maybe alt leveling, maybe fishing, maybe pet battle collecting, maybe PvP, you know, whatever, Warlord stuff. And then for videos, I have some stuff to catch up on. So the first thing I want to do is finish those wild pet guides, so myself and all the rest of you have like a really clear idea of what to do and where to look for everything you need for Draenor Safari. And then I need to update the Christoph von Fiesel guide because I have that recorded. I just need to edit it. The only change to that is that one of his pets changed type, so there's just an easy sub in. Strategy still works. I had it work every time one shot, so there's no problem with that. And by the time the Darkmoon Fair rolls around again, we'll be all good. But I have my Sid the Squid already, so I don't even need to do it anymore. I love my Sid the Squid has been following my priest around, just like a happy little. Oh, he's great. I have a real hard time deciding between having Sid out or my Frostwolf pup. It's just too hard. So that's going to happen. And then, of course, Draenor trainers are going to be the next thing. I'm going to try and come up with, of course, more power level strategies for them. 2-pet strategies so you can power level a pet. Because, yeah, that seems to be the only a really good way to power level pets. And, of course, I'm actually kind of disappointed with the rewards from pet charms, because pet charms, of course, are the currency you get for defeating daily pet tamers in Draenor. And I never really checked the contents of all the things you can buy with them, but I assumed that the mystery bag that you could buy for 2 pet charms that contains a random class upgrade stone, I thought that was going to be an upgrade stone, like a bring your pet to rare, and I was like, man, we're going to be able to get those so much faster. I'm okay with this. It's not. It just levels your pet by 1 level, and leveling pets is so easy anyways once you have a team that seems very... Hi! What's up? It seems kind of unnecessary. So, I mean, I'm still going to do the dailies, of course, and there's other things you can get with pet charms. And you can get an upgrade stone. You can get a flawless one for 15 of those daily charms. So you can get one of those every couple of days, but I don't know, I might just sell them. They sell so good, and if I keep doing if I keep up the Pandaria dailies, then I'll still be getting class-specific stones to work on upgrading my collection, so... A little disappointed that isn't a bit better, but, you know, whatever. There's lots of new pets to collect in Draenor, so there will be lots to keep busy with. And then the last type of video that I want to do, and I'm going to try and get most of the pet battle stuff done before I really start on this, but I want to go back to making those kind of laid-back, relaxed episodes of PvP where I just go into a battleground or an Ashran or whatever and practice and hang out and just sort of chat, because I need practice. You will not see MLG level PvP happening, but you know what? I want to get back into it, which means I'm going to need to run some games, and I'd like to make some videos of it, so that'll happen at some point in the future too. Anybody asking, Hazel, have you given up on every game except for World of Warcraft? The answer is a little bit, but it's going to be temporary. I will eventually play other things, and right now so much stuff is coming out that I just don't have time for this moment. I'm not going to get around to Dragon Age Inquisition right away. I don't know if I'm ever going to get back around to Lords of the Fallen. I tried it, I gave it a shot, and I just don't like it, but we'll see. But the one that I do want to do is Telltale is coming out with a Game of Thrones game. They're the people that made The Wolf Among Us, which I Let's Played previously, so I want to do a full series just like that for Game of Thrones, and I think I'm more excited about that than I was for Wolf Among Us, because I am very invested into the Game of Thrones universe. I read those books over and over and over and over and over again, so I think it'll be really interesting to... Oh no, I hid it, but there's a copy of World of Ice and Fire behind the Pandaria Collector's Edition back there. But I'll be very interested to play that game and talk about it, not just in a sense of having fun, although of course I'm sure it'll be great, but to be thinking about what this would mean for the lore of the game, or lore of the world, as it relates to the game, of course. The game's going to be its own canon. It does seem like it will be mostly within the existing canon, but of course I doubt that there's no way that anything that they do in the game would change our existing knowledge of the universe, but I think that being invested in that universe is going to make it much more fun to play, so I will do that when it comes out. Everything else on pause until I get my Warlord stuff all done. I'm sure once I have all the pet battle guides out and everything that I want to do done, and I'm just on to making more cereal content, then, cereal. I'm kind of hungry, I didn't have breakfast. I have these mini wheats. Oh. I never enjoyed mini wheats as a kid, but now, like, these frosted mini wheats, I don't eat them with milk. I just snack on them, and they're so crunchy and delicious. Man, sorry guys, I didn't eat lunch. Yeah, so I think that's everything I wanted to go over. I should go cook some stuff. I will be streaming later today, and of course 3 times a week. Nice, casual, laid-back stuff. If you have an extra monitor, it's something you can just throw on while you're playing WoW. I'm playing WoW while I do it, so that's only fair. I hope you guys all have a fantastic week. Let me know. Tell me about your experience with Warlords so far, what you think. I want to know what you think about garrisons, about the professions. Oh, the one last thing I wanted to mention is how silly profession quantities are. And in particular, like fishing and cooking. Before, you would catch a fish and cook it. You might catch a couple of fish and make a feast. fairly straightforward. Now, you catch a fish. Say you're catching an enormous fish. Say you've got good fishing skills. So you catch an enormous fish. You catch 5 of those. You then fillet those into like 20 to 24 pieces of flesh. You then use 5 of those to cook 4 servings, 4 to 6 servings of thing, which you can then combine with 4 to 6 servings of another thing to make like 4 to 6 servings of this. It gets so weird and mathy. It's so, and it's not like the math is impossible, but oh my goodness, like I miss taking a thing and crafting a thing. Even a hex weave, like you take 10 of this and 10 of this, and then you combine them together to make 4 of this thing. I would rather them just break it down until either the thing that you're crafting is 1, or I don't know. I guess it makes you craft things faster so that you're not clicking the button as much, but I would rather it make sense in my brain. But that's just me. Anyways, let me know what you think about Warlords. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye!